Hey folks, it's Bill Swift from Swift Canoe and Kayak, and today is one of our favorite days. We get to talk about all our amazing kayaks. We started building canoes in 1984. We started building kayaks in 1995, and look at this amazing line of boats we have now. I need all of them. They're beautiful boats. We've got our beautiful touring kayaks, the Saranac 14s and 15s. Some of our more popular kayaks, the Adirondacks with the bigger, more open cockpits, range from 10 to 13 and a half feet long. Then our very popular sport touring boats, the Kawasa, they're 12 and a half and 13.2 in length. And one of the things that always is important with a kayak, it all starts with design. And we have David Yost, who is absolutely brilliant and one of the most talented designers in the industry. When he designs his kayaks, he puts very long waterline lengths on the boats in relation to the overall length. So the Kawasa 12.6, for example, having a very plumb stern and not a lot of rake to the bow, has the waterline length of a lot of 14-foot kayaks. And that runs through our whole line. Our Saranacs really perform like 16 and 17-foot boats. Now there's some real cool design features to them, and let me show you two other babies we have here. Here are some of our boats that have a little bit more open cockpits, the Kawasa 14. And then here's a new boat for 2021, and this is a prototype right here for a Saranac 15 LC, large cockpit. What I do want to show you right now, we call this the DY square, and it really shows you a really cool design feature that David uses. And that is, he puts a lot of roundness in the chine area to all of his boats. Some of them look shallow, but look how much depth this actually has here. And then what's important to him is, he makes the roundness very consistent from one end to the other in the kayak. Now that does several things, and perhaps the most important is that when waves hit the side of the boat, they roll underneath the boat with less moving the boat around in different directions. All of the kayaks we make are very straight keeled in the back end. They track very straight. Beautiful performing boats for people that haven't paddled a lot before. There's a little bit more rocker forward on the bottom. The bows are a little more maneuverable than the stern. These aren't race boats. They're not whitewater boats. These are very lightweight Kevlar and carbon boats for the average paddler that's just looking to get a really nice, beautiful kayak. Here are our lightest weight, most general recreational kayaks, the Adirondacks. We've got a 10-footer and a 12-footer that have no hatches and bulkheads, super lightweight, and then we've got a 12 and 13 and a half foot version, have a little bit wider cockpits, hatches and bulkheads, a little bit more versatile to them. Let's go over them in detail with you. Hey folks, these are some of our most popular kayaks, the Adirondack 10LT and 12LT. No hatches or bulkheads, super lightweight. Adrienne has volunteered to help today. She's 5'7", 120 pounds. I'm way too big for these boats. I'm 6'4", 240. And a lot of nice features with this. They're 27 and a half inches wide overall. 23 to 24 inches wide at the waterline. They've got a lot of flair to them. They're very sleek shape, and they paddle so much nicer than the conventional plastic 10 and 12 foot recreational kayaks in the market. And why don't we get a good view of the cockpit area on this? There's the nice foam on the side, adjustable foot braces, and a lot of people like these because they can put gear in front of them. They can put a small child, a small dog, fish tackle box. Now, Joe, let's show folks what it looks like in the boat I'm in right here. It's much tighter, just my size. I just don't fit this boat as well. So I'm going to get out of this one, and let's have Adrienne sit in this because she is actually about the target size for the 12 LT. Generally speaking, the 10 LT fits people 80 pounds to about 140. We've had a couple gales about 160 pounds in the 10 LT. The 12 LT fits people about 110 up to 180, and it's got more room in it. They're both the same width. So the 12 LT, when you paddle it, is going to give you a little bit more glide with each stroke and be a little bit easier paddling. Some beautiful features on the boat. You've got the real comfort handles on them. They've got some bungee cords on it. The carbon cockpit rings, the foot braces that you can adjust right from where you're sitting, are super comfortable seating system. The Adirondack 10 and 12 LT for general recreational kayaks, folks love them. So the 10 LT is a beautiful indigo over champagne and Kevlar fusion, weighs 24 pounds. The 12 LT is Firestorm over clear carbon in the carbon fusion laminate. It weighs 24 pounds also. We're going to have Adrian just show you how light and how easy these boats are to pick up. So do you want to? We'll do the right technique that we were taught to. We bend with our knees and we find the balance point and pull the one edge right up, pull it right into your belly. Reach over with one hand first, and then your other hand you turn under when you put it over. So her right hand she's putting under, and then turn it and put it on your shoulders and then stand up. Wow, Adrian, that looks nice. Now why don't we put it down? You do just the opposite. So crouch down, grab the inside edge, slowly roll it down, and then you put it down, and then slowly walk away from it. These kayaks are designed for people of all sizes to be able to pick up. It's one of the main benefits of having a really lightweight boat. The Adirondack 10 and 12 LT, great paddling recreational boats, very light to pick up. You've got to lift one to believe it. Here are the Adirondack 12, and this is a beautiful one. It's the sunburst color deck over the champagne bottom and Kevlar fusion. I'm in an Adirondack 13.6 Boreal green over the champagne bottom. These Adirondacks have a little bit wider cockpit, so it's a little bit easier to store stuff in front of you. Camera equipment, fishing equipment, a dog, a small child. And they also have the hatches and bulkheads. For those who like to travel more and put some gear in their hatches, they have a little bit more room. Now the Adirondack 12 that Adrian is in, this really suits people 120, 220 pounds, anyone from 5 feet tall up to 6'2", 6'3". And this boat fits someone larger in stature, or someone that really wants to take a lot more weight with them, that really wants the big open cockpit. A lot of beautiful features on this boat. There are the real comfort carrying handles, our hatches and bulkheads that are both made out of resin-infused parts. They've got the carbon cockpit rims, and they've got the nice foam side pads on them. You can see Adrian can brace her legs right against the side with that. It just makes it more comfortable while you're paddling. And then, Joe, they've got the super comfort seats in the back. Let's just show on Adrian's how she can sit back, Adrian, how the lumbar pad there is out of the way of your life jacket. So while she paddles, it doesn't get in the way at all. Folks, when you do paddle, when you really move your body, and the best way to kayak is to really rotate your body, keep your arms pretty straight. This seating system is so comfortable. It's got so much foam to it. And with the open cockpit, you can paddle for hours in these boats and not ever have that feeling of, this thing's killing me, I gotta get the heck out of it. Adirondack 12 and 13.6 with the hatches. These also are some of our most popular kayaks. They are 27.5 inches wide at the widest point. 23, 24 at the waterline, and look at the sleek shape that they have. And you can really see the roundness to the chine area here. Very comfortable in wind and waves, very straight tracking. These babies are real fun to paddle. The Adirondacks are great kayaks. We have a lot of space, the big open cockpits. The Kawasas are very popular with those that want to sit right in the kayak and have a lot of thigh support on their legs. They're narrower boats, 23, 24 and a half inches wide, and we make them in both a version that we call the LT, which stands for lightweight, with no hatches or bulkheads. We see in the top and the bottom here, or both models are available with the hatches and the bulkheads for people that want to be able to store their gear in the boat. Let's talk about them a little bit more in depth. The Kawasa 12.6 and 13.2 are available both without hatches like this in the LT version. Adrian's in the 12.6 LT. She fits her profile very nicely. We have a lot of people, small to average size, that really like the 12.5 footer. And then people that just want a little bit more room. The cockpit's a little bit bigger on the 13.2. It's an inch wider than the one that I'm in right now. Very comfortable for someone my size. Now they have very sleek, efficient designs in the water. They have the very rounded chine areas that we've been talking about. They're very comfortable in wind and waves. There's a lot of flare in the ends of them, so it really pushes the waves off to the side. Very straight keeled in the back end. They really go in a straight line nicely. They're extremely comfortable for people that are looking for a lot of performance in a lightweight, compact boat. Now, what's really neat about these is our designer, David Yost, has designed the cockpits where you can either put your legs right underneath like Adrian is right now, or Adrian, let's show them with your knees on the sides. You can paddle both ways. I like paddling a lot with my knees right on the side. And what David Yost really wanted with these boats is that he calls it 2 knees up. If when you're out where you're paddling, if you want to move around and stretch a little bit, you can really move your body and get more comfortable. Put your legs right back under again. Many kayaks have aggressive thigh wings or hooks on them that really lock you in a position. They're great if you're doing performance whitewater paddling or performance sea kayaking, but for general recreational boat, comfort is so much more important. These boats, the Kawasa 12.6, Kawasa 13.2, are just fantastic for the average recreational paddler that's looking for a lot of performance in a small boat. The Kawasa 12.6 LT is aqua blue over champagne and Kevlar fusion, and the Kawasa 13.2 LT below it, this is a really unique look. That has our carbon Anegra cloth with a clear coat finish over the champagne. Looks great in the Kevlar fusion laminate. Gives the boats a nice tech look with the off-white bottom, really hides the scratches nicely. I'm in a Firestorm over clear carbon, Kawasa 13.2 with hatches. This is a beautiful look and finish to a boat. Adrian is in the classic yellow over champagne in the Kawasa 12.6. These are the exact same kayaks we just showed you, but these have the hatches and bulkheads on them. So they've got the same fit in them where we can tuck our legs under if we want to while we're paddling. Give us a little bit more hip and thigh support if some big waves, a big motorboat comes by and throws some big waves at us. Or we can paddle very comfortably with our knees right on the side like this. And then Adrian, let's show them the David Yost, the 2 knees up. This is so, you can stretch while you're out there. Now, the Kawasa 12.6, the cockpit, is an inch smaller in length and width to the 13.2. So we've really sized the cockpit for someone bigger to be in this particular boat. Both of these boats have great fits. Average size to smaller people like the 12.6. Average size to bigger people really like the 13.2. Both of these Kawasa models, the 12.6 and 13.2 in the LT or the standard version with the hatches and bulkheads, are available in the regular depth version, or all of them are available in what are called LV, low volume, where we cut 1/2 inch off the deck and the hull before we put them together. So they're 1 inch shallower for end to end. Some folks just like, especially people with shorter legs or smaller stature people, like the low volume version. It fits them a little bit better. They feel like there's less boat in front of them while they're paddling. Whichever Kawasa you choose that fits you well, you are going to love. Here are our popular touring kayaks, the Saranac 14 and 15. They come standard with the hatches and bulkheads. They're also available in the low volume or regular depth for each model. They have very long waterline lengths in relation to the overall length. They really fit a lot of gear. A lot of people will buy these for exercise boats and or people that really want to put a bunch of gear and go tripping. So let's go over them. Adrian is in a Saranac 14 LV in indigo over the champagne Kevlar Fusion. I'm in a Saranac 14 sunburst over the champagne Kevlar Fusion again. These boats have very sleek shapes to them. Very rounded in the chine areas like our other models, very consistently rounded from one end to the other, straight keeled in the back end. These Saranacs, when you take a stroke, they really accelerate nicely and they really glide into the next stroke. Now this boat fits Adrian very nicely. At 5'7", 120 pounds. I'm 6'4", 240. This cockpit is a little bit tight for me. I have size 12.5 feet and I can't put my feet straight up and down comfortably. I'll paddle it. If I just had regular water shoes on, my feet would fit in it better. But generally speaking, the 14 LV is going to fit people 100 to 180 pounds really nicely. The Saranac 14, which is actually, this is our most popular Saranac right here. This really fits people 140 to 220 well, up to about 6'2" in height. The Saranacs are known really well to be extremely efficient in the water, extremely seaworthy, and some of the lightest weight boats in the industry for their lengths. Here is a Saranac 15 Glacier Blue over the champagne bottom in Kevlar Fusion. Adrian is in a Saranac 15 low volume with a classic looking mango deck over the champagne bottom in Kevlar Fusion. Now, a lot of people get the Saranacs with the skeg, which is a drop down fin in the back of the boat. So I can pull this down when I'm in the water. The fin will drop down and it really helps the boat track in a straight line nicely. The longer the boat you get, the more factor the wind and waves hitting the boat trying to push you in a different direction. We also offer a really nice rudder system, the C-Line rudder. Now this cockpit is 1 inch wider and 2 inches longer than the cockpit on the Saranac 14. This fits my stature perfectly. My feet right here, I could have size 14 feet in this boat and it would fit nicely. Adrian, even in the low volume, this is a big cockpit for her. And she's able to brace her knees on the sides or put them right under. And it's comfortable. The padding that we put in is heavily padded underneath the deck and on the sides. When you paddle, with every stroke you're moving, your body moves against this padding. It's such a soft, comfortable seating system to it. Now, I'm in between. I love paddling the Saranac 15. How about if I try this one, Adrian? The 15LV also. So these cockpits, because they're bigger for someone my size, very easy to get in and out of. Now, I can also paddle in the 15LV. The 15 is a little bit more comfortable. I like the lumbar support a little bit higher up than Adrian does. But I can get my feet, I have to turn them a little bit to the side in here. This quickly, I can change the foot braces from the length that Adrian likes to what I like. This also fits me well. The one thing about it though, and this has been an issue with people trying to get into kayaks over the years, the more your legs get pressed down, the more your body's at right angles, so to speak, the more pressure it puts on your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles with every stroke, the more you can bend your legs, the less pressure that's on your legs. So I find that I am more comfortable paddling for a few hours in the Saranac 15. I can get in the low volume, but because I feel a little bit more compressed, my legs actually can get more discomfort than my upper body does, even though I'm primarily using my upper body when I paddle. So I always err on the side of going a little bit deeper with a boat. Both these boats though, the 15LV, the Saranac 15, real efficient, real fast in the water, and what people really, we hear time and time again from people, these boats have incredible stability in a variety of conditions. Very good open water boats in the ocean, along estuaries along the ocean, good on lakes, good on rivers, real versatile shape. Saranac 15s, beautiful boats to paddle. Here are two real cool boats. Adrian is in the Kawasa 14 with the sea blue over the champagne and Kevlar fusion. I'm in the new Saranac 15 LC with the bigger cockpit, boreal green over the champagne. What a lot of people love about these is what's Adrian showing you. You can put a leg in the water off to the side. You can drag your feet in the water. You can put both legs off to the side if you want to. Makes it easier to get in and out of. David Yost brought the design idea, the Kawasa 14 for us, and it was to people that may have knee or hip issues to be able to put their legs in and out of the boat very easily. But we found is that lots of people love the boat. There's a lot of room in the cockpit. You've got a lot of comfort. You can put a fish tackle box, photography equipment, a small dog, a small child. And Adrian, at her size, she can paddle with her knees under on the side, or in the popular 2 knees up that David Yost likes to talk about. You can stretch out in the boat very easily. Now, I'm in the new boat, the new Saranac 15, the same boat that we just showed you, but we put the same cockpit size that the Kawasa 14 has on it. The finished version of this is going to have a carbon cockpit rim on it also. And this is really designed, again, for people that may have knee or hip issues, or people that just like the idea of a bigger open cockpit. Putting gear in front of you. We put the cockpit rim over the deck height on both of these models. If the water ever does wash up on it, most of it gets splashed off to the side. We do a real neat spray skirt with a big zip on it so you can access gear in the boat if you do want to wear a spray skirt. Now, I feel super comfortable in this boat. I can brace my knees under like the Saranac 15, so if a big boat comes by and there's irregular waves coming, it gives me more hip control in the boat. Or I'll paddle most of my time just like this with the knees braced right on the side. Now, this boat is a little bit too big for Adrian, the Kawasa 14. How about if I try that one? So easy to get in and out of these boats. That's one of the big features of these cockpits. just the ease of getting in and out. So we'll show you again. You can bring your leg inside it very nicely. Now both of them have those beautiful waterline shapes. The Kawasa 14 is a little bit wider, the Saranac 15 a little bit narrower, a little bit speedier. The Kawasa 14 is a little bit more general recreational oriented. People that really want to trip or tour are going to be more interested in the Saranac 15. A lot of people we've been finding lately are buying our kayaks not to race or compete in, but for general fitness. And both of these models, our Saranacs or Kawasas, are beautiful for that. One of the things that I absolutely love most about the Swift kayaks are these foam side pads. Bracing your legs on the side when you paddle. When you paddle, you really push on your feet while you paddle and really twist your body with each stroke. When you do that, you really move your body on these side pads and the back of your seats. All of the contact points we put on the boat, the seat, the side, it's a really soft, comfortable foam. Makes it where you can paddle like this for hours. So if you really want performance with a bigger open cockpit, the Kawasa 14, the Saranac 15 LC large cockpit, both beautiful choices. If you can't decide, you want one of each of them. We've got a lot of really cool accessories. One of them is a heavy-duty nylon cockpit cover. These are a real bugger to put on the first couple times, so always see if you can get someone to help you with it. The best way to do it is start right at the back end where you see the bungee tied together. Stretch this out a little bit. This cover's designed specifically for this boat, so Adrian, hold it tight right there. I'm going to slowly come around the end here, work my way up the side, and I'm tucking it in, and I'm really pulling pretty tight on it, guys. Then I'm coming right back up around the top, and you want to end up at the top right about like where this is right in the middle, and then we can go down the other side. Beautiful. The first 2 or 3 times you do this, guys, you really got to work to get it on, but we want it that way so it just doesn't get too floppy in the middle. Now, while you're driving, you can hook this right on. Really helps keep the critters out of the boat, keeps water out if you're storing your boat or if you're driving with it upright like this. Really nice option to have. When you're ready to take the cockpit cover off, just unclick it from the end and you pull it right forward and just slowly come down one side and the other. What I always do is just roll it up when I'm done with it. Here's another great accessory we have, our touring spray skirt. So start it the same way, right near the bungees in the back. Really stretch it out a little bit in the back. And I'm going to pull it tight off to the side. And Adrian, can you hold the corner right there? Always get someone to help you the first couple times you do this. I'm going to slowly come up the side, bring this right around the top, and then come right back around the other side. So let me show you a couple features right now. One of them that people absolutely love is that these spray skirts have a zipper. So while you're in the boat, you can open it up. If you have gear in front of you, you can access it. They've got these real neat ditty pockets that you can put some stuff in if you want some munchies. These are shoulder straps that 95% of the people never use. They just take it right off because when you put this skirt on, you're going to be able to get it to fit real nicely. And then they've got a little bit of this real adjustable part in the middle. They've got Velcro on them, so they're adjustable. Adrian, do you want to try it on? So here is the spray skirt on. Nice fit. Helps keep the boat more seaworthy on windy, wavy days. Let's review a bunch of the features of the Adirondack LT kayaks, our ones without the hatches and the bulkheads, the 10 and 12 Adirondack, the Kawasa 12.6 and 13.2. So they start out, they've got the real comfortable handles that have a lot of play to them in the ends. We've got bungee cords where you can store doodads on them. The Adirondacks have the carbon cockpit rim. We have the heavy-duty ABS on the Kawasas. They've got these beautiful padding right on the side. What's neat about the padding is it's not just for your knees and your thighs while you're paddling. Also, when you carry the boat, when you put it up, the foam really hits you nicely right on your shoulder. And then it really, depending on your torso height, hits you right on the side nicely, super comfortable. Now, the seating system is one of the most important things of any Swift kayaks. We have a remarkable seat, and it starts out with a strap that flows right through the back of it. This is one of the key things. Then it's also got a strap that when you're not using it, you can tighten it down nicely for transport. When you go to use it, you clip it into this one, you tuck the plastic under, and you just pull it up. And when you do it, you don't crank it like crazy. Just get it snug. You want a little bit of play for it. And there's a lot of nice features of this, starting with the adjustable lumbar support that goes up and down. I ruptured a disc years ago. Part of my therapy with my physio was to use lumbar support in my vehicle and in my car so I would sit upright a little bit more. Really comfortable, works great in an office chair also. So I thought we've got to be able to put this on a seating system. This is one of the most comfortable things I've ever used in a kayak. It really gets you sitting upright in a real proper posture. Now, underneath our foam pad on the bottom is a carbon cockpit base that we custom make for every model that we have. We have different heights of them for different models, a little bit different shape. They're deep dish in the back. We've really worked hard on the shape of it. Now, underneath your bum, this is what you've got. You've got an inch thick foam that was designed for the medical industry for what they call advanced blood flow management. It really moves nicely with you. You can put a lot of weight on it. They use this material for wheelchairs and special needs equipment. On the top of it, we've got this real lightweight ripstop nylon. This is what you're putting most of your weight on when you paddle. Now behind you, we've got a little bit more porous foam that's really more flexible. And when you move your back a little bit, this is what you're moving your back into. Has the same ripstop nylon on it. That's the material also that's inside of the lumbar support. Super, super comfortable. Now, because the strap moves right through the back of the seat when you're paddling, you'll feel the seat actually move with you. You can loosen and tighten it very easily. Works just like a backpack strap. Now, super comfortable seat. Some other nice features, Joe. Let's show them the foot brace here, where you can really move it forward and back right from where you're sitting. Sometimes, even when you're out paddling, you may want to just stretch your legs out a little bit more. Very easy to do so. Now, the Adirondack LT kayaks have this nice space right behind you where you can put a dry bag. David Yost designed it originally where you can put an Adirondack woven pack basket back here if you want to do the real traditional thing. Now, this is a stainless steel security loop that you can run a cable through. You can lock the boats on your vehicle while you're traveling or wherever you're storing them. Many beautiful features on these boats. Probably the best feature of all is just how light these babies are. Many of our models have the hatches and bulkheads. Let's review one of those models right now. They start with the same super comfortable handles we have on the LTs. And this is a really cool feature. Our perimeter deck lines have this white speck in the rope, and it actually glows in the dark at night. It's really neat if a couple of you are out paddling and you got headlamps and you shine your boat on each other. It really pops, or if a motorboat happens to come by and shines a light, you're highly visible. Now, the hatches are made out of resin-infused parts, just like we build the hull and the deck of the boat. We've got a really cool video on 2021 Swift technology that you should check out. So really lightweight and strong. We've got this, actually it's a car door gasket material that goes around the outside. This one has the solid bulkhead. When your kayak, you first get it, you'll have some of these. It absorbs some of the smell that is coming off the exotherm of the resin system. Now when you put this down, there's a nice channel. The front hatch on most of our boats fits real small to mid-sized dry bags. I always put my thermarest right up in the nose of my boat when I load it up on a trip. Now, very easy to put the hatch straps back on. You just clip them right back on like this. Now, if you want to get your hatch really watertight, the best way to do it is push down hard on one end and crank it a little bit more, and then do the same to the other, and you can get it nice and snug. Coming back on the kayak, it's got these nice bungee cords. You can put gloves, water bottle, munchies. Some of the models have the carbon cockpit rim. Some of them have the ABS cockpit rim on them. Look at the beauty of that carbon. C'est la vie. Très magnifique for our French friends. This is one of the most important things. These side pads just add so much comfort to your paddling and when you carry the boat. All the same features of the nice seating system we mentioned in the LT model. Very easy to adjust the lumbar support. Some of the models have a paddle holder which assists in getting in and out of the kayak. Stainless steel security loop. And we wanted to show this to you folks. So our boats are known for having a lot of storage space in them because there's a lot of flare to the shape, and the widest point is way up near the deck of the boat. So I can get this bag right in here, push it right up to the bulkhead. Then I can put another really big size dry bag in. What I usually do is put a couple dry bags in the back of the boat on a trip with some smaller ones, other doodads, and I put my tent right in the back. Then same way, you just put the hatches right back on. Work just like the front one. You really settle it in nicely. And so easy to put these on. It's not like some of the rubber hatches on the market, especially that for people that have tendinitis that are really hard to put on. Now the back of the boats, you can see a lot of them have the marks right here. This is for an optional rudder system, and the one that we use is the C-line rudder system. It's great because there's two controls to the pedals. The lower pedal gives you a permanent bracing position. When you push on the upper pedal, it controls the direction of the rudder. I don't have one to show you here, but they're on our website. But what I have here is what most people get. This is the knob for our skeg system. So when I pull this back, it's going to deploy a fin that's going to come out in the back of the boat here. So I'm going to pull it forward back again. Move it back and forth. It's not a big surface area, but it's remarkable when you pull this back and the fin comes down, it stiffens your tracking up incredibly. Now it's not going to allow you to control the direction of where you're going, but when you put the fin down, if it's a windy, wavy day and you feel like you're getting blown off course, it really stops you from getting blown and really assists you in going in the direction that you want to. So very popular option with people that are traveling on big open water. And all of these features combine to a really neat package. We put a lot of time and effort into the boats. They look super, choosing the decal colors and so on. This Glacier Blue Saranac 15, this is my choice for a kayak. With all the ones here, what's the one that's going to suit your needs the best?